On doomsday, my wife sued me for divorce, accusing me of being a failed father and husband. She even demanded all the properties and custody of my son. However, inside the courtroom, I heard a shocking sentence. It was the voice of my 8-year-old son, Zachary, asking the judge, "Your Honor, can I read something from Daddy's diary that he doesn't know about?" The judge nodded. My son stepped forward, raised his phone, and pressed play on the voice memos. When the recording started, everyone in the room froze in stunned silence. Before the story begins, please leave us a comment telling us which state or city you are watching from. Do not forget to like and subscribe so this channel can grow and bring you more exciting stories. That morning began like any other in their spacious suburban home, nestled in a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Chicago. The sun was just peeking over the horizon, casting a soft golden glow through the kitchen windows. Alex, dressed in his usual simple attire, a faded gray t-shirt and comfortable jeans, had been toiling in the kitchen since dawn. The faint aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of sizzling bacon and eggs, while the washing machine in the adjacent laundry nook hummed softly, its rhythmic spin cycle adding to the domestic symphony. Alex moved quickly but silently, his footsteps light on the tiled floor, making almost no noise. Over the years of their marriage, he had learned to navigate the house like a shadow, an unspoken effort not to disturb the peace of his wife, Tammy, who valued her mornings for quiet reflection and preparation for her demanding day. At precisely 6 a.m., as the clock on the wall chimed softly, Tammy descended from the second floor. She looked immaculate, as always, her power suit tailored to perfection, a sleek black blazer over a crisp white blouse, paired with pencil skirt and heels that clicked authoritatively against the hardwood stairs. Her hair was pulled back into a professional bun, and her makeup was subtle yet empowering, accentuating her sharp features. As soon as she appeared at the bottom of the stairs, Alex immediately placed a mug of hot black coffee, brewed exactly to her preference, no sugar, no cream, and a steaming breakfast plate on the polished oak dining table. The plate featured scrambled eggs, whole grain toast, and fresh fruit, arranged meticulously. Tammy sat down without a word, her eyes already glued to her smartphone screen, scrolling through emails from her high-stakes corporate job. She picked up the mug and took a sip, her expression unchanging. "The coffee is a little bitter today," she said dryly, not bothering to look up, her voice carrying that familiar edge of criticism that had become all too common in recent months. "I'm sorry, honey. I thought I measured it right this time," Alex replied in a low, apologetic voice, his hands clasped nervously in front of him. He had double-checked the grounds that morning, but perfection seemed elusive these days. Tammy did not respond. She simply pushed the breakfast plate away slightly, as if it offended her, and ate a few perfunctory bites in silence, her fork clinking against the china. Alex stood near the table, shifting his weight from one foot to the other, awkwardly waiting for any other order or perhaps a rare word of acknowledgement. There were none. The silence between them was so dense and cold that it seemed to freeze the hot steam rising from the coffee on the table, turning the once cozy kitchen into a sterile void. Alex had long forgotten the last time they shared a breakfast filled with laughter and easy conversation. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago, back when Tammy's career was just starting to take off and their life together felt like a partnership. She had been promoted to vice president at her tech firm, a role that demanded long hours and frequent travel. Alex, who had been a promising graphic designer with his own freelance business, had agreed to step back from his work to focus on the home front. It was Tammy's suggestion, framed as a logical choice. Her salary had skyrocketed to triple his, and with Zachary just starting kindergarten, one of them needed to be the stable presence. Alex had embraced it, pouring his creativity into family life, designing custom birthday invitations for Zachary's parties, turning their backyard into a mini playground, and ensuring every meal was a small act of love. But as Tammy's success grew, so did the distance between them. Her business trips stretched from days to weeks, and when she was home, she was often irritable, her mind still at the office. "Is Zachary up?" Tammy asked abruptly, without lifting her gaze from her phone, her tone more like a manager checking on a subordinate than a wife inquiring about their child. "Yes, honey, he is showering. He will be down for breakfast soon," Alex said, forcing a small smile to mask the ache in his chest. Sure enough, shortly after, the small patter of footsteps echoed down the stairs. Zachary, their 8-year-old son, bounded into the kitchen in his neat private school uniform, a crisp white shirt, navy tie, and khaki pants. His backpack slung over one shoulder, his dark hair still damp from the shower, and his smile was bright and infectious, a stark contrast to the tense atmosphere that had settled over the morning like a fog. "Good morning, Daddy and Mommy," Zachary exclaimed, his voice full of youthful energy. He ran first to Alex, planting a quick kiss on his cheek, then headed toward Tammy. She finally put down her phone, her features softening just a fraction as she forced a slight smile toward her son. "Good morning, champ. Finish your food quickly. Mommy will take you to school today." Zachary's eyes lit up like Christmas lights. "Wow, I'm going with Mommy," he cheered, climbing into his chair and digging into his breakfast with gusto. Alex exhaled a quiet sigh of relief as he watched the interaction. At least in front of Zachary, Tammy made an effort to act with warmth, shedding her corporate armor for brief moments. This fleeting breakfast hour was the only semblance of family time they had left, a fragile bubble in an otherwise strained existence. As soon as Zachary finished eating, wiping his mouth with the napkin Alex had folded neatly beside his plate, Tammy stood up immediately, grabbing her designer briefcase from the counter. She leaned down to kiss Zachary on the forehead, her perfume, a sharp, expensive floral scent, wafting through the air. Then, without so much as a glance at Alex, she headed to the front door, Zachary trailing behind her excitedly. As always, she walked past Alex as if he were invisible. Not a goodbye, not a kiss, not even a nod of acknowledgement. Only the roar of her luxury SUV's engine starting and driving away pierced the silence, leaving Alex alone in the vastness of their large house. The echo of the garage door closing felt like a final punctuation on his isolation. He stood there for a moment, staring at the empty table, the remnants of breakfast mocking him. Then, with a deep breath, he began clearing the dishes, his movements mechanical, his mind wandering to better days. The house was a testament to Tammy's success, a 4-bedroom colonial with a manicured lawn, a home office for her, and a playroom for Zachary filled with toys Alex had carefully selected. But it felt empty now, the high ceilings amplifying the loneliness. Alex spent the rest of the morning immersed in his routine, scrubbing the dishes until they gleamed, folding the laundry with precision, and tidying the rooms to spotless perfection. He vacuumed the living room, dusted the shelves lined with family photos, smiling images from vacations long past, and even polished the silverware, though no one was coming over. He always strove to keep the house perfect, clinging to the naive hope that if everything was just right, if the meals were delicious enough, if he remained quiet and supportive, the old Tammy, the one who laughed at his jokes and held his hand during movie nights, would return. But the old Tammy seemed to have vanished, replaced by a woman consumed by ambition. Her promotions had come with accolades and bonuses, but also with a growing disdain for Alex's role. "You're just a housewife," she had snapped once during an argument, the words cutting deeper than any knife. Alex pushed the memory away, focusing on the tasks at hand. By mid-morning, the house was immaculate, and he allowed himself a brief moment to sit on the couch, sipping a cold cup of coffee he'd forgotten to drink earlier. His thoughts drifted to Zachary, his bright spot in this dimming world. At noon, Alex headed out to pick Zachary up from school, the highlight of his day. The drive to the private academy was short, through tree-lined streets where children played in yards. As he waited in the pickup line, he spotted Zachary emerging from the building, waving goodbye to friends. "Daddy!" Zachary called, running to the car. Inside, he chattered nonstop. "Today in science class, we learned about volcanoes. The teacher said I asked the best questions, and in math, I got an A on my test. The teacher called me the class whiz." Alex's heart swelled with pride. "Wow, my son is so smart," he said sincerely, reaching over to ruffle Zachary's hair as they drove home. These moments made everything worthwhile, the sacrifices, the loneliness. When they arrived home, Alex helped Zachary out of his shoes, hanging his backpack on the hook by the door. That's when he heard the sound of a motorcycle pulling up in front of the main door. A uniformed courier shouted, "Alex, package for you." Alex frowned, puzzled. He hadn't ordered anything. Stepping outside, he signed for a large, thick brown envelope. No sender's name, just the logo of a prestigious law firm in downtown Chicago embossed in the corner. His heart began to beat uncomfortably, a sense of foreboding creeping in. "Who is it, Daddy?" Zachary asked, peeking curiously from the doorway. "I don't know, champ. Probably just junk mail. Go change out of your uniform and we'll have lunch. I made your favorite grilled cheese," Alex said, keeping his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. Once Zachary scampered upstairs, Alex sank on the living room sofa, the envelope heavy in his lap. With trembling fingers, he tore it open. Inside was a stack of legal papers, crisp and official. The first line jumped out at him like a slap. "Petition for dissolution of marriage." His world tilted, the room spinning, ears ringing. He reread it, praying it was a mistake. Plaintiff, Tammy. Defendant, Alex. Grounds, the husband has failed in his marital duties, exhibiting negligence, emotional instability, and financial irresponsibility. Nausea rose in his throat. Failed? He had built his life around this family, given up his career for Tammy's, raised Zachary with endless love, attending every school event, coaching his soccer team, reading bedtime stories nightly. What failure! He flipped through the pages, his vision blurring at the demands. Tammy wanted full custody of Zachary, claiming Alex was emotionally unstable and unfit to provide a stable environment. She demanded all marital assets, the house, cars, savings, arguing Alex contributed nothing financially, that everything was from her earnings. Alex slumped to the floor, papers scattering like confetti from a nightmare. Months of coldness now made sense. This was premeditated. The front door opened. Tammy was home early, her heels clicking. She saw him, the papers, her face impassive. "Honey, what does this mean?" Alex stammered, tears welling. Tammy removed her shoes calmly, loosening her scarf. "Exactly what it says. I'm done, Alex. You've failed as a husband and father." "Failed?" he echoed, disbelieving. "I've cared for everything. The home, Zachary?" "Cared for the home?" Tammy laughed bitterly. "You've lived off my money. Zachary deserves better than a whiny stay-at-home dad." "The property, the house, Zachary, you can't take him," Alex cried. Tammy knelt, her eyes cold hatred. "I can. My lawyer has evidence. You'll leave with nothing." She stood, smirking. "Even Zachary will testify against you." Alex's world shattered. Tammy wanted not just divorce, but annihilation. That night, sleep evaded Alex. Tammy locked herself in the guest room. Alex sat in Zachary's room, watching his son sleep, tears streaming. How could she turn their boy against him? Zachary was his everything, their bond unbreakable, or so he thought. Morning came. Tammy acted normal, waking Zachary, driving him to school. "Daddy's not feeling well," she explained his red eyes. Alone, Alex panicked. He needed a lawyer but had no money. Tammy controlled finances, giving him allowance only for essentials. Checking the joint account? Zero. She drained it over months, transferring to unknown accounts. Desperate, Alex called an old college friend at legal aid. "Try attorney Adam Zoe," the friend said. "He's in a strip mall office, but he's dedicated. Helped me once." Adam Zoe was a legend in underdog cases. A divorced father himself, he took pro bono work when it struck a chord. Alex cabbed there with his last cash. Adam's office was humble. Cluttered desk, law books stacked. Adam, late 40s, bearded, listened intently. "Uphill battle," he said. "She's prepared to crush you, but let's fight." They reviewed documents, manipulated photos from when Alex was ill, fake credit charges on his card, a psychologist report from Dr. Valentine, observations claiming instability. Adam suspected foul play. "We'll dig." Living with Tammy was hell. She bought Zachary gifts, undermined Alex. Zachary clutched his old cracked phone, secret recordings. Mediation failed. Trial. Cromwell presented evidence. Valentin testified. Alex smelled his cologne, realized the affair. Adam investigated. Valentin's credentials clean, but affair suspected. Alex testified, provoked into outburst. Verdict day. Judge leaning Tammy's way. Zachary interrupts with diary, voice memos of Tammy and Valentin plotting. Chaos, arrests, reversal. Alex wins custody, assets. Flashbacks, early marriage happy. Adam's backstory, lost custody, now fights for others. Epilogue, new life, business. Zachary explains recordings. The alarm clock buzzed at 5:30 a.m., but Alex was already awake, staring at the ceiling in the master bedroom he shared with Tammy, or rather the bedroom where they slept in the same bed but miles apart. He slipped out quietly, padding downstairs to start the day. The kitchen was his domain, a place where he could lose himself in the rhythm of chopping, stirring, and brewing. Today he decided on Eggs Benedict for Tammy, her favorite from their dating days, though she hadn't commented on it in years. As he whisked the hollandaise sauce, memories flooded in. Flashback to their college days. Tammy, ambitious business major. Alex, creative art student. They met at a campus art show, her praising his designs. Marriage 5 years later. Zachary's birth. But as Tammy climbed the corporate ladder, Alex's freelance dried up. "Stay home," she said. "It's best for us." He agreed, but regretted, not the choice, just the change in her. Tammy descended, critique ready, breakfast tense. Zachary's arrival brought light. Tammy left without goodbye. Alex cleaned, mind wandering to Zachary's soccer game last weekend. He scored, Alex cheered loudest. Pickup, Zachary's chatter about school bully, Alex advising kindness. Home, envelope arrives. Opening it, world collapses. Tammy home early, confrontation. Failed? Alex begs. Tammy's cruelty. Zachary will testify. Alex heartbroken. Night in Zachary's room. Alex recalls Zachary's birth, holding him first. Tears. Morning. Tammy normal with Zachary. Alex calls friend, learns of Adam Zoe. Adam's backstory. Divorced 10 years ago. Wife took everything. He fought back, won shared custody. Now helps others pro bono. Office visit. Adam listens, sees parallels. "I'll take your case." Review evidence. Photos from flu week. Alex bedridden. Tammy refused help. Credit charges. Tammy's business. Psychologist Valentine. Credentials perfect, but something off. Adam, we'll counter with your story. Tammy buys loyalty. New tablet for Zachary. Sneers at Alex. Undermines. Daddy's cooking salty. Alex doubts self. Zachary confused, clings to old phone. Alex notices but dismisses. Tammy takes Zachary out late. Cologne scent. Confrontation. He's better than you. Zachary, mommy says you're sick. Adam advises calm, prepares defense. Mediation. Cromwell aggressive. Fails. Adam digs. Valentine, Tammy's colleague. Affair suspected. No proof yet. Trial day 1. Cromwell presents photos, statements. Valentine testifies, twists incidents. Alex saving Zachary from street becomes aggressive pull. Cross. Adam presses, Valentine slick. Alex explains context. Cromwell provokes with photo of Alex crying after Tammy's insult. Alex snaps, looks unstable. Adam consoles, we have time. Flashback, happy vacation, Tammy promising forever. Adam, Valentine's look at Tammy, not professional. Night before, Alex hugs Zachary, sees phone again. Verdict, judge favors Tammy. Zachary interrupts, Daddy's diary. Plays memos, Tammy and Valentine plotting, admitting fraud, affair, money transfer. Chaos, arrests, judge dismisses suit, grants Alex divorce, custody, assets freeze. Investigation, money returned. Tammy 12 years prison, Valentine 8, license revoked. Cromwell disbarred. Alex sells house, starts design business, therapy with Zachary. Zachary explains, recorded suspicious Uncle Valentine, kept secret per Tammy, showed to save Daddy. Adam, mentor, friend. Alex hints new love. New beginning, park, laughter. Alex reflects, never failed, raised hero son. Did you like the story? Comment your city, like, subscribe. More stories coming.